Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. This is my first ever video for this channel. I was actually just sitting here doing some audio video tests, making sure everything was set up right, and looked down at my phone and had a tornado warning. If you live in the Midwest, you know exactly how those go. It was storming out a little bit, but I didn't see anything too severe, and then my phone starts buzzing and had a mini heart attack for a second because I live in an apartment and there's no basement. But anyway, so let's get into it. As you can tell from the title, we're going to be talking about Five Total Strangers by Natalie D. And this book is a young adult book, which I typically don't read too much of. I might start reading a little bit more young adult, depending on what they are. I don't think I'm going to read any Twilight or anything like that, but something, something more on this level where maybe it's like a high school senior or someone that is just about to go to college, something like that. But basically, this book is about a woman named Mira who's a high school senior, and she has to get home from the holidays. She's currently going to school in California and visiting her dad out there, and she has to fly back. There's a very urgent need for her to get back, which I'll let you discover if you read the book. But she's trying to get home to her mom, and she gets stuck on a layover during a snowstorm. The snow slowly is starting to get worse, and basically all the flights have been canceled. So there's this girl she meets on the plane named Harper, and I think in the line to actually rebook the flight or to get set up for a hotel, Harper comes up and it basically offers her a ride. They've rented a car, Harper and her three friends, and they offer to take her, basically drop her off at her home instead of like waiting for the flight because the snow's not seeming too bad, and I think they rent an SUV or something like that. So Harper reluctantly agrees. They get in the car, and as the story progresses, she realizes that these people don't actually know Harper. Every single one of them is supposedly a stranger, as the name implies, five total strangers. So some weird shit starts happening. Things go missing. People are getting into a little bit of argument. I don't give too much away, but basically most of the book takes place in this car, and you basically are along for the ride as these people are trying to get home safe in a snowstorm. And Mira's the youngest at being a high school senior, and then there's the rest of the people are just some college students. So before I get into what I liked and what I disliked, I want to tell you about something that has never happened to me before when buying a book, surprisingly. I actually got about to page 80 or 90, and it kind of jumped immediately, and I didn't realize it. I don't know why I didn't check the page numbers, but I actually read 30 pages that jumped ahead about 30 or 40 pages. And because most of the book takes place in the car, it's hard to tell. It was kind of hard to tell like that these pages were actually missing if I didn't check the numbers. So I read these 30 pages, and then I get to the 30 pages again, and I'm like, okay, something's definitely wrong. And I look down and I check the book and I flip through it, and I realize that yeah, it is misprinted, which like I said has never happened to me before. I have tons of books, maybe not as many as some people, but I have quite a few books and never seen a misprint before. And that really sucked because I was really into the book at that point. I was kind of flying through it, and I had to wait until the next day because it was like 9 o'clock at night and my local Barnes & Noble was closed. Anyway, so what did I like about this book? It is what it claims to be. It's a young adult, easy to read, creepy story that takes place in winter, and you're kind of wondering what's going on, and is there a secret, bad person? Is there a secret antagonist that's trying to, like, sabotage this trip? Or maybe is it all a coincidence? Or is it someone outside of the car that's doing it? Some things go missing. There's some arguments, like I said, and it's basically getting weird, and you're trying to figure out, like, okay, so who does Mira need to watch out for? Or wouldn't it be a plot twist if Mira was the issue? I'll let you read to find out. But anyways, so yeah, it's very easy to read. It's a young adult book, and coming from someone who like reads like Stephen King or even a lot of nonfiction, like I was flying through this book because it's made for like high school. high school or college students, like someone that's kind of just starting out in life. So it was pretty straightforward. I did like that it kept me guessing all the time. Um, at one point, I think it's this person, and another time I'm thinking, okay, no, it's not that person. They're trying to like, Natalie, the author, is trying to like throw me off and make me think it's somebody else. So when it finally was revealed, like what was going on, um, I might have guessed it, but I could not be for sure until it was actually revealed. I also just like it just because, yeah, it's just a fun, creepy Christmas, kind of Christmassy read. I read it a few weeks ago, and it was just really great for like, getting into the spirit of Christmas. And if you like horror and Christmas like I do, like that's a perfect book to match up. The final thing I really like is the cover. I mean, just check out that cover. I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but it's a really awesome cover. I think it was really well put together. A top-down shot of the car, apparently stuck or driving through the snow. And yeah, I'm kind of a sucker for covers. If a cover is really awesome, I don't know why, but it just makes me enjoy the book a lot more. So what did I not like? There were some parts that were a little bit unrealistic. Not everything, obviously, because I really enjoyed the book, but there were some parts where I'm like, how is that possible? Like, is this something supernatural going on? Like, not overtly supernatural, but like hinting at supernatural, because there's some stuff that's like, I don't understand like how that's possible, and like, where did this come from? And I can't really give too much away because this is a spoiler-free review, but yeah, there was some stuff where I'm like, I'm not sure how that adds up. And then the second thing I don't like, which I would say this is the only other thing I don't like, is that it was a little bit of a slow burn, but that can almost be a pro rather than a con, because it really just like went through, and I knew that most of the book was going to be in the car, but it was kind of slow getting started. Like, you're kind of meeting everybody, but I really think it was worth it in the end. And it was a very quick book. It's not going to be like something like Under the Dome or It, where it's like this massive book and all these characters, and it's basically something you can pick up, read in 2 or 3 days and be done with it and really just have enjoyed the story. My final thoughts on the book are that if you like young adult, and even if you don't like young adult, but you want a quick, easy read that has to do with winter, I would definitely recommend picking it up. I actually own another Natalie D. Richards book. I think it's called, and then there was One Was Lost. It's called One Was Lost, and it's on my bookshelf back there. And I picked that up on a whim at, I think Target or something, which I never buy books at Target. But I picked it up on a whim and I never read it. And now I'm leaning towards reading it because I really enjoyed this book. So that's my thoughts on Five Total Strangers. I'm going to continue posting this channel. It's called Chris Digresses into Books because I have a lot of different interests. So that's why I kind of chose Digresses, because I digress a lot. Anyways, if you like the channel, feel free to subscribe, like the video, hang out, tell me your thoughts. Like I said, I'm brand new to YouTube. I have never really had a channel before, but hopefully it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'll continue posting some reviews soon. So see everyone later.